all the trainings, when I say okay feedback, then I sub look food padte. So make it a point to share some positive aspects before you go to giving corrective feedback or constructive feedback as we call it. So Shweta did a good opening. Uh, she used a little humor to lighten up things. Babita was good. I mean, you could make out that you knew what you were talking. So was Sujata and Geeta. So there's a lot of confidence that is there. I think certain areas where I missed out, and I was actually moving around the tables and observing how you guys are proceeding. Uh, Major factor that I observed was you depended on training aids. The moment your laptop was, you could have just shut it and you could have moved to some other avenue. You spent a lot of time in working on the laptop. Okay, and I think that came in from my prompt that okay, you've got a laptop, so use it. Not required. All right. Another thing I observed was there was the coherence that needs to be there was not there. Did you have a leader for your team? Who's the leader? Unofficially. Exactly. And I could sense that when I was sitting over there. Because a lot of times there were multiple discussions happening. Okay, so talking about teamwork, that should not happen. That focus was not there. So she was talking about, okay, we will. No focus.
See, I'll tell you,
Okay, let me complete. So, and what happened was, so that coherence was not there. Because I was sitting there, I was listening to the conversation. So Sandeep was, and what made you not involved this gentleman? So you tell him, boss karo karke. That's another quality of a leader. If people are not doing it, tell them do it. I'm there. If you make mistakes, we'll be there. And that's what teamwork is all about. I never allow people to say I main nahi karega, so do it. You make mistakes, fine. You can make mistake in a training room. Don't make it in front of your customers. So when you give that kind of confidence to your trainees, they'll be confident. Otherwise, people will be always shy. And I really wanted this guy to open up because yesterday he was a little hesitant. मेरे को English नहीं आती है करके.
no, no, let's take his feedback first.
Right?
Yeah.
So people will be that way. I see, and here I'm not going by probably with a trend. I'm just being situational. I'm just talking about what I've observed, right? Uh, that was there. Then I felt that more than content development, the entire presentation moved from it digressed to teamwork and grouping. All right, and that's exactly why I pulled out that handout and I saw okay, with the points it's covered. You obviously covered certain points. A few things when you do content development, and sir, since you're an expert, you're doing an ID, you can just correct me. How I go about is one, you need to know okay, what's the objective. Why am I doing a training program? What I want to achieve after doing a particular training. Then I would look at what audience is there. So you probably would make a fantastic PowerPoint presentation in English, but if your audience doesn't understand English, they know Hindi. So that's understand your audience. And I think you mentioned that point. Is it beginners? Is it a CEO level? Are they junior executives? Whatever. Based on that, you decide what content. Because there are times where you might not have to use a PPT or a flip chart. Okay, if people can't read and write. Okay, they don't understand letters. I have done training for Integron when I was working there, where we had done flip charts. I did nice PPT and went, and then we realized that whom we have to teach are villagers, and they don't know English. So then I had another person on my team. I told him he was from the hotel industry. So Sandeep टाइवाई निकाल दे, हाथ फोड़ कर उनको clean करना सीखा. So we had 2 rooms in the 15 days they were just doing, and we were cleaning with them. They didn't know what is an R1 chemical names, R1, R2, whatever. So okay, नीला chemical glass के लिए है, लाल chemical इसके लिए, and that's you might need to do that, right? And then resources available, which again you have what resources are available with you. In a real life scenario, you might not have a PPT or you might not have a big enough room to conduct a particular training program. Like what if there's no electricity? So it have, I was prompting you, कि छोड़ो उसको, छोड़ो करके. But I guess it was my prompt that Babita was like, no, मेरे को करना है. Right? So this was my feedback, and trust me, anybody can make mistakes. So.
Yes, of course. I mean, I've learned a lot of things regarding content development. One, that of course, content is for what?
like Sir said, primarily if you're doing a training program, the way I do it is I have three sets. One is what I'll put on a PPT. So that is just pointers. I don't put everything over there. But yes, your participants will always want additional information. That can go as a participant guide or handouts. And third, very important is your trainer's notes. And I was so hoping you'd come to that, okay, this is what you will do in a trainer's note. So
Is it not equally important? I wouldn't say necessary unless the content is that interesting. To develop a content also based on incidences or examples or relate examples when you are going about into the content. So it becomes a very live sort of a conversation with your.
I just mentioned that, just yeah, that from the activity that she would conduct, a lead from there to the visuals that we would show and relate it to their work life.
Actual incidences. Like suppose you heard plenty of time, even Ganesh initially. Like once it happened so and so that
Stories.
this was not there. And this.
Incidents from their
So it becomes one of my colleague went there and we found out this. Yeah, so that becomes a more relevant, communication when it comes across the table.
What I have observed, I just wish it to all. What happens is when I should do my training programs, so I used to use a lot of real life examples as well. Because when I used to do parenting, I used to connect very well to the participants with what happened with my child, what happened in my life, and all. But when I was talking to one senior trainer, and he told me that probably you're not supposed to say your stories to them and connect with them. You can say one of my colleague, one of my friends, this. So I just want to ask this question to you all. What do you feel about it? Can we use our real life examples to connect with them? Or you feel that you can say one of my colleagues and one of my friends and all this?
I think you can say that because when you're connecting.
okay, can we have one
When you're connecting.
Anyone.
When you're connecting emotionally, I think there is a little danger you're crossing. You need to not to do that. I think, like you said, maybe one of my colleagues, you can take the examples from your life, but put it across as somebody else, because otherwise you're emotionally getting involved with the audience, which you shouldn't. I think.
We deal with a lot of emotional issues with them. So if we are okay with talking about it, then we should talk about it because it shows a vulnerable side of you, and that makes the other person also more open towards whatever you are saying. And he might, when he feels that okay, this person has also gone through it, it becomes more easier for him to open up himself.
What I personally feel is that's fine. You connect with the participant if you say about your things, but is it professionally correct?
Yeah, sometimes I think it's too
Shweta, you want to say
okay.
I could say that every
See,
time
okay,
it is
one
not
second.
necessary.
Mansi, Shweta, Ranjeev. Sir, हाथ ऊपर है नीचे. All right, okay. So,
I feel that every time it's not necessary to give your example. It's whenever it's played by ear. Whenever it's relevant, then use your example. Otherwise, it's okay to.
I would second that part, but then it actually.
okay, sir, I'm right on it.
Oh.
Yes.
So, because it's a colleague,
the table and I think you're right.
Silence. Yes, I'm right and I'm right.
Yeah.
Okay. See what I feel. In fact, I also do it in some of my programs. What we try to do is connect them with their own life examples,
Yes.
rather than mine or my colleagues' example. Connect them with their own examples, what they may go through, in their daily work schedule or in their daily lives. So they will relate to it more than my story or my colleague's story.
Yeah. Even I
Connect them with
I
their
second.
own examples. That works really well.
okay.
Yes, please.
With your permission, sir. No, what I say is, I would actually beg to differ with what you and she also said. I agree partly, yeah. But her case, it's different because the industry, you also have to relate to the industry. She's connecting most of them with her training part with the small kids or whatever. Where she requires an emotional connection, for them to open up. So there it becomes very necessary that you relate, you have your own experiences coming out or your own incidences. Correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, somewhere.
I
There are
agree
three,
with
four
that.
reactions coming. I was suddenly thinking, am I saying something wrong?
Okay, let me take a couple of situations and then we move on.
Yes.
I'll give an example.
Okay, one conversation, Shweta, Sneha.
What I feel works is usually success stories and how you handle certain situations, while receiving a certain level of success that works very well. And you can connect, as to how you handle, say, situation at level 1, 2, 3, 4, and people are able to connect with that audience and how you've achieved success. It can also backfire in, showing that you have too much of an ego or you're trying to act smart.
Yes.
In that real life situation. So how you are able to say it and how you are able to connect it with the audience and the problems of the audience is very important. In connecting, in being more empathetic, I would say. It's very important to say that you had similar problems like the audience has, and how you've taken over or how you've titled those certain situations and then achieved that level of success. So you then develop that connect, and not say, okay, I am so great or I'm so good. That is very important when you're connecting a real life situation.